The government formalizes agreements to enhance healthcare infrastructure across 18 access to government information. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum and welcome to PSM News in English with me, Abdullah Ahil. And now the news in detail. President Dr. Mohammad Muiz officially inaugurates Media Fenda, a dedicated facility designed to improve media access to government information. The inauguration ceremony took place on Thursday afternoon at the Media Fenda premises located opposite the President's office. The facility has been established to strengthen engagement between the media and government institutions, enabling journalists to receive timely news and official updates directly from the President's office and nearby government institutions. Managed by the President's office, Media Fenda will operate on all official government working days. Upon request by authorized journalists, it will also be accessible 24 hours a day, including on public holidays. Use of Media Fenda is restricted to registered Maldivian media outlets actively operating in the country, including newspapers, magazines, broadcasters, and media entities listed in the Maldives Media Council's registry. Access is granted only with a special permit issued by the President's office. As the facility is located within the green zone, all security protocols established by the security forces will apply. The government remains committed to enhancing access to information, empowering media institutions, and supporting professional development opportunities for journalists. Minister of Higher Education, Labor and Skills Development, Dr. Ali Haider Ahmed, says the government has initiated efforts to expand and strengthen the country's job market. Speaking after inaugurating the National Career Service Regional Hadal Atoll branch, Minister Dr. Haider stressed on the importance of connecting job seekers with prospective employers in all parts of the country, adding that the government is putting in every effort to expand the job market. The National Career Service Regional Center will play an important role in such efforts, he said, adding that the center will provide employment opportunities to Maldivians and help people of working age to choose suitable jobs. President Dr. Mohammad Muiz had renamed the National Job Center to National Career Service in July last year. Minister Dr. Haider noted that the change was made tasked with key responsibilities, including the facilitation of employment for people with special needs and the impoverished. He explained that the new center's mandate also includes providing working-age people with income-generating skills and helping them utilize technical training and skills learning for the job market. Minister Dr. Haider said the government is working to facilitate employment opportunities for every local job seeker and to ensure that young people of working age are fully informed in choosing the most suitable career path. According to the minister, the government is also working to develop the higher education sector in the Maldives and increase available resources to provide quality education. These efforts, he said, are in line with President Dr. Muiz's presidential pledge to build a young, capable, and skilled workforce as part of the policy to establish a Maldivian-oriented labor market. The government formalizes agreements to enhance healthcare infrastructure across 18 islands, awarding contracts to 3 state-owned enterprises as part of a broader initiative to strengthen medical services nationwide. The Maldives Transport and Contracting Company, or MTCC, Fenica Corporation, and the Road Development Corporation, or RDC, have been tasked by the Ministry of Health with implementing the projects aimed at addressing long-standing deficiencies in healthcare capacity. Fenica Corporation will oversee developments in 9 islands, MTCC in 5, and RDC in 4. Together, these efforts will see the construction of 2 hospitals, the establishment of 4 new healthcare centers, and the refurbishment of 12 existing facilities. At the signing event, Minister of Health Abdullah Nazim Ibrahim pointed to outdated healthcare facilities as a significant obstacle to delivering quality medical services, particularly in the atolls. The development of 18 islands is part of a wider government effort to modernize medical facilities across the country. Minister Nazim outlined ongoing efforts, revealing that contracts have already been awarded for the construction of 21 hospitals in 3 phases. Minister Nazim said that in addition to this, agreements are in place for the establishment of 19 healthcare centers and the enhancement of 33 existing facilities. New tenders, according to the minister, are set to be issued in the near future, paving the way for the commissioning of an additional 21 healthcare infrastructure projects. The development of 18 islands is part of a wider government effort to modernize medical facilities across the country. The Minister of Higher Education, Labor and Skills Development invites interested candidates to apply for scholarship opportunities available from Egypt's Al-Azhar University. According to the ministry, under the Al-Azhar University Scholarship Program, 5 higher education opportunities are available for Bachelor of Sharia and 17 opportunities for Bachelor of Scientific/Theoretical Studies in Egypt. The ministry has asked students interested in pursuing higher studies in Sharia, scientific, and theoretical fields to apply for the Al-Azhar scholarship through the MyEdu portal. The deadline for applications is June 4th at 12 p.m. It said requirements for the scholarship include passing Shahada Zanaviyya and fulfilling any additional requirements in the university information sheet. According to the ministry, candidates with any pending student loans and have undertaken the same level of course on state expense will not be eligible to apply. The ministry said candidates selected for the student loan scheme will be able to apply for the scholarship provided the loan agreement has not been signed, adding that such students must waive the student loan opportunity if selected for the scholarship program. Formala City Council receives the equipment required for the establishment of a sustainable agriculture laboratory and training center. The handover ceremony was held on Wednesday and was attended by the Minister of Agriculture and Animal Welfare, Dr. Mariam Maria, Japanese Ambassador to the Maldives, Ichigami Rumiko, United Nations Development Program or UNDP Deputy Resident Representative Pek Chuan Gan, and Mayor of Formala City Council Ismail Rafia, along with council staff. The facility is being established as part of a collaborative project between the government of Maldives and the government of Japan, as well as the UNDP. In addition to conducting agriculture-related training, the center will also provide facilities for modern and sustainable agriculture once operational. This project is one of the most significant efforts being made by the government to develop the agricultural sector. The establishment of the National Laboratory will mark a major milestone in the government's broader efforts to enhance the agricultural sector and ensure the safe use of agricultural products. Under the laboratory project, the quality of agricultural products and the standards of chemicals used for its cultivation will be assessed. The Ministry of Agriculture and Animal Welfare stated that this will increase the safety of vegetables and fruits produced locally and facilitate the production of healthier foods. The aim of this government is to promote sustainable local agriculture and strengthen national food security. The Maldives National University, or MNU, launches a robotics hackathon designed exclusively for its students. MNU said the event is part of the robotic module for its computer science students. According to MNU, this two-day event is a platform where the next generation of tech leaders come together to build real-world solutions in record time. MNU said participants will be challenged to think fast, build smart, and push boundaries with expert mentors, cutting-edge tools, and a community of like-minded innovators. MNU's Faculty of Engineering, Science and Technology, Dean Adam Khalid, told PSM News that the event aims to familiarize students with the field of robotics. According to him, the main objective is to familiarize students with robotics. As robotics is one of the most popular fields in the world, he said the university need to familiarize students in this field and pave the way for them to compete. He said the event will greatly enhance the productivity of the students while providing them with much-needed tools for students that can be utilized in the workplace. The robotics hackathon hosted by MNU's innovations and inventions of its students. CEO and Managing Director of Bank of Maldives, or BML, reveals they are working towards the goal of becoming the best digital bank in the region through its digital transformation journey. Following a successful year of BML, Sharif addressed shareholders at its annual general meeting held on Wednesday, outlining the bank's solid financial performance, continued digital transformation, and sustained support for customers and communities. Sharif highlighted the ongoing investment in the bank's digital journey, the result of which continue to set the benchmark in the Maldivian financial industry. Sharif noted that a remarkable 99% of the bank's financial transactions are now made through our digital channels. He stated this amounts to over 220 million transactions worth over $35 billion. Speaking about the bank's financial position, BML reported its best ever performance in 2024 with a record profit after tax of $145.9 million in 2024, an 8% increase year on year. According to Sharif, BML's total assets surpassed $3.1 billion and deposits stood at $2.1 billion, representing 58% of the market, a clear reflection of customer confidence. BML shareholders have approved a record final dividend of $3.6 per share for the financial year 2024, amounting to a total payout of $19.2 million at the AGM. This marks the highest dividend payout in the bank's history, underscoring its robust financial performance and continued commitment to shareholder value. Top stories on international business. A U.S. trade court blocks President Donald Trump's tariffs from going into effect in a sweeping ruling that the president overstepped his authority by imposing across the board duties on imports from nations that sell more to the United States than they buy. The Court of International Trade said the U.S. Constitution gives Congress exclusive authority to regulate commerce with other countries that is not overridden by the President's emergency powers to safeguard the U.S. economy. A three-judge panel said in the decision, quote, "The Court does not pass upon the wisdom or likely effectiveness of the President's use of tariffs as leverage. That use is impermissible not because it is unwise or ineffective, but because federal law does not allow it." End of quote. The Trump administration minutes later filed a notice of appeal and questioned the authority of the court. The decision of the Manhattan-based Court of International Trade, which hears disputes involving international trade and customs laws, can be appealed to the U.S. Court of Appeals for the Federal Circuit in Washington, D.C., and ultimately the U.S. Supreme Court. Trump has made charging U.S. importers tariffs on goods from foreign countries the central policy of his ongoing trade wars, which have severely disrupted global trade flows and roiled financial markets. Companies of all sizes have been whipsawed by Trump's swift imposition of tariffs and sudden reversals as they seek to manage supply chains, production, staffing, and prices. A White House spokesperson on Wednesday said U.S. trade deficits with other countries constituted a national emergency that has decimated American communities, left our workers behind, and weakened our defense industrial base, facts that the court did not dispute. Financial markets cheered the ruling. The U.S. dollar rallied following the court's order, surging against currencies such as the euro, yen, and the Swiss franc in particular. Wall Street futures rose and equities across Asia also rose. The ruling, if it stands, blows a giant hole through Trump's strategy to use steep tariffs to wring concessions from trading partners, draw manufacturing jobs back to U.S. shores, and shrink a $1.2 trillion U.S. goods trade deficit, which were among his key campaign promises. Xiaomi's new sport utility vehicle, YU7, arrived in 13 showrooms in Beijing on May 29th, offering a glimpse into its second electric vehicle, or EV model, that will be officially launched in July. The highly anticipated new car is seen as a strong rival to Tesla's best-selling Model Y. The Chinese smartphone vendor launched its first EV last year with the SU7 sedan, which has been outselling the Model 3 on a monthly basis since December. At Xiaomi's first flagship showroom in Beijing's Oriental Plaza, about 20 people, including several Xiaomi staffers, were seen surrounding an emerald green YU7 after the store's opening on May 29th. The car on static display did not allow for an internal walk-around. According to Xiaomi's founder and CEO, Lei Jun, the YU7's pricing will be announced in July. Xiaomi did not disclose prices or start taking pre-orders for the YU7. An update on world events. Ugandan President Yoweri Museveni and his Burundian counterpart, Evariste Ndayishimiye, urges an end to foreign interference in the conflict in Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo, or DRC, warning it risked destabilizing the wider region. Speaking during a Great Lakes summit of foreign ministers from countries that signed the Peace, Security and Cooperation Framework for the Democratic Republic of Congo and the region, Museveni said political will was needed to resolve the crisis.
We know what the problem is, and it can be solved, but we must have the political will. And the foreigners should limit their involvement, because the foreigners are the ones who carelessly embolden the mistake makers. Then the mistake makers think that we don't care about these internal groups, we don't care about the region. What is important is the external support.
Ndayishimiye said the conflict was worsening and could spread beyond the DRC. Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo has seen a resurgence of violence since early 2025 when the Rwandan-backed M23 rebel group seized and occupied several towns in North and South Kivu provinces. While the United Nations and Western governments have previously stated that Rwanda has provided arms and troops to M23, Rwanda has denied backing M23 and says its military has acted in self-defense against Congo's army and a militia founded by perpetrators of the 1994 genocide. Officials at Yemen's Sana'a airport says that Israeli strikes the day before has stranded a big part of the population. The General Director of Sana'a International Airport, Khalid Al-Shaif, said in a post on his X account that the strike had completely destroyed the last of the civilian planes that Yemeniya Airway was operating from the airport. The airport is the largest in Yemen and came back into service last week after temporary repairs and runway restoration following previous Israeli strikes. It was mainly used by UN aircraft and the plane destroyed in the latest Israeli strike. 3 other Yemeniya Airway planes were destroyed in an attack earlier this month. Director General of Air Transport Mazen Ghanem said, quote, Sana'a International Airport is the main artery of the Republic of Yemen. Targeting the airport and the last plane, which was the only hope for transporting patients, passengers and pilgrims, has resulted in more than 70% of the Yemeni population being stranded and unable to travel from this airport, end of quote. Part of Iran's Axis of Resistance, a regional alliance that includes Hamas in Gaza and Hezbollah in Lebanon, the Houthis control territory where about 60% of Yemen's population resides. Since the start of the war in Gaza in October 2023, the group has fired at Israel and at shipping in the Red Sea in what it says are acts of solidarity with the Palestinians. Most of the dozens of missiles and drones fired towards Israel have been intercepted or fallen short. Israel has carried out a series of retaliatory strikes. The U.S. also launched intensified strikes against the Houthis this year before halting the campaign after the Houthis agreed to stop attacks on U.S. ships. An insight into sports, Cason Wallace's corner three-pointer at the buzzer was the exclamation point on a dominant first quarter for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and the Oklahoma City Thunder, who rode the hot start to a 124-94 home win over Minnesota Timberwolves that ended the Western Conference Finals in Game 5. Gilgeous-Alexander finished with 34 points, 8 assists, and 7 rebounds as the Thunder closed out the best-of-7 series. The Thunder are headed to the NBA Finals for the first time since 2012 and the 5th time in franchise history. The first 3 appearances came when the club was based in Seattle.
Yeah, I just thought the tone that we set in the game was really, really good. Just from the jump and all the way through. The guys, like I said, were unbelievably focused. They were able to cut through all the distractions of the game and all the emotions of the game and just compete on the next possession and did an incredible job. It's also a good time to note, I meant to do this off the top, just want to acknowledge Minnesota, who's been one of the best teams in the league for the last couple months, and we're humming in the playoffs coming in. And just like the Denver series tested us in ways that have helped us grow. And so I have great respect for all those players in the locker room and their organization, Coach Finch and his staff.
Oklahoma City will host Game 1 of the finals against either the Indiana Pacers or the New York Knicks on June 5th. The May 28th outcome was evident early as the Thunder buried the Timberwolves under the weight of a stifling defense and playmaking by Gilgeous-Alexander, Jalen Williams, and Chet Holmgren. Oklahoma City put the game away quickly, leading by 17 after the first quarter and 33 at halftime. The Timberwolves saw their season end in the Western Conference Finals for the second consecutive year. Moving on to more lighter news, Prime Ezinze, a former street acrobat turned international circus performer, has launched Circo Benin Circus School and its accompanying Cirque en Fusion festival to give new structure and visibility to West Africa's rich street arts traditions. A one-time member of the Super Acrobates de Cotonou Ezinze went on to earn a French state diploma in circus teaching and tour with a Paris-based troupe in Africa, Europe, Canada, and Brazil. He also led a humanitarian mission in Syria, bringing together Turkish, Kurdish, and Syrian children to create a joint circus performance in a conflict zone. At its heart, Circo Benin bridges grassroots creativity and professional pedagogy by formalizing disciplines long practiced in Benin, from Zapata acrobatics and Kori Geje stilt walking to Diablo juggling and aerial silks under the codes of contemporary circus. Festival events range from open-air showcases and a gala of 8 to 10-minute acts at the Palais de Congrès to professional roundtables. International guests include fire juggler Loup Pinel, whose performance blent tribal mysticism and modern staging, and Togolese circus director Kosi Chala, who is scouting models for a future Lome festival. Despite rising enthusiasm, Ezinze faces significant hurdles, persuading partners to back a little-known profession, securing rehearsal spaces, and raising public awareness. He and his colleagues hope that by demonstrating artistic quality, hosting professional meetings, and nurturing a second festival edition, Circo Benin will help cement circus arts as a recognized career across Francophone West Africa. And that's all the news we have for today. We'll be back with any further updates. Until then, I'm Abdullah Ahil from PSM News.